Oh hi, second video regarding the issues which TXHalabi has raised and Islam. I mentioned earlier the historical perspective, and I'd like to say some more. Islam is now entering the West seriously, big time. Like in England where I live, most cities and many towns have got at least a few mosques. Like where I live there is 3 mosques. Maybe 10 years ago there was no mosques. So Islam is here and it's here to stay. But if you look at religion in a historical context, it sheds light on what TXHalabi is doing. I used to be a Buddhist monk, and I know that when Buddhism arrived in the West, it's been through the fire. Western, and this is appropriate to Islam. Sorry, uh, Buddhism has been purified when it comes to the West. A lot of the Asian traditions are not acceptable to us, and we question. And similar is happening with Islam. Uh, Also, not only Islam, with Christianity, but even the difference between Sunni and Shia. When Islam arrived in Iran already had a religion. It had Zoroastrianism. It took 300 years for Islam to be established in Iran, and that was the birth of Shiaism. So when Islam enters a new country, or when a religion enters a new country, it goes through a purification process, and I strongly suggest that's what the likes of TXHalabi are doing. They're making significant and fantastic contributions to the purifying process. If I mean, just to be completely honest, if what TXHalabi is saying is the truth, and if the Quran talks about the truth, then we have to be honest. I mean, if what TXHalabi is saying is not true, then we will decide. Uh, yeah, I mean, for example, if you look at, I mentioned earlier in the other videos, when Christianity exploded in the West, we analysed the doctrines. Like, we looked at the Old Testament, and we discovered that the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, traditionally it's thought that all these 5 books were written by Moses and they were written in one time. But analysing the writing style tends to suggest that that's not the case. They were written by numerous authors and over hundreds of years. Now, this is complete heresy to the Orthodox Jews, but it seems to be the truth. They will never accept it, but it seems to be the truth. And there's some things which scientific analysis of Christianity shows which Orthodox Christians will never accept. And I suggest it's a similar process with Islam. We are in the West because we value our intellect, and we value the God-given ability to question and to doubt. To doubt is divine. To question is divine. Otherwise, we'll never discover truth. If we just believe everything, then we'll believe liars and we'll believe false prophets and blah blah blah. So to question is divine, and it's how we discover the truth. So I just wish to say that Islam will go through a purification process in the West, and the Orthodox Muslims from Islamic countries, they really will have a rough time, because in the West we will use the intellect to expose some things which Orthodox Muslims would rather die. They would rather die than expose these things. So I support the process which TXHalabi has started. Not only TXHalabi has started, there's other Arabic speaking people, not Muslims, but Arabic speaking contributors on YouTube who are raising valuable questions. And I just think, in the name of truth, in the name of knowing the truth, long may the questioning continue. Like, I mean, just going back to the establishment of Shiaism, 300 years it took for Islam to be established in Iran, and we'll go through a similar process here. It will take hundreds of years, and lots of purifying. Like, I used to be a Buddhist, and it took 300 years for Buddhism to be established in Tibet, and Buddhism went through a kind of purifying process. So they'll say what's going to happen in the West. It started already. We will expose the shams. We will expose the corruption. We will expose the superstitions, which are not acceptable to the West. And also, Islam will be established here, because it's established already, and it will continue to grow. But I suggest that a new form of Islam will arise. I mean, already many feminists are creating new forms of Islam, and not only feminists, but many other people as well. So, long live the debate to discover the truth. Okay, thank you. Bye.